Hey guys, so I'm here today to record my introduction for the Finish 10 by Christmas Eve. As far as I know, I think Leah from Leah XL started this challenge, and I'll link her video down below in case you want to have a look at it. But if I'm wrong about that, please just correct me and then I'll link the right video in the description. Before I get into the products, I just wanted to briefly touch on some thoughts that I've had about project pans recently. I in no way think this is a unique experience, it's just something that I've been thinking about and wanted to share. And if you have any comments or questions or suggestions, please let me know down below. It's always interesting to talk about these things. I mean, we do a lot of projects all the time in this community, and I don't know, we don't really talk about why we do them or I guess the motivation behind them all that much. So I began collecting makeup in 2012 at the very end of the year, and the vast majority of my makeup was actually purchased in 2014 when I got a summer holiday job and then just pretty much spent all of my money on makeup. So that means that a lot of my collection will expire or has already expired at about the same time, and it means that there's approximately the same amount of use on a lot of my products. That makes project panning really difficult because I'm using something that I might have only used like 10 times, and I can't really finish a blush I've used 10 times in 3 months, right? But if you already hit pan in a blush and have hit pan significantly in a blush, that's easy enough to use up in 3 months. So choosing products for my projects is getting more and more difficult as I finish up the products that have the most use on them, and I'm hitting products that are basically brand new. So that means that I get really discouraged when I don't finish my products in my projects because I just don't have enough use on them previously to the project to finish them. And that going hand in hand with the fact that using these products exclusively every single day and trying to get as much progress on them as possible in the short period that I have is making me neglect all the rest of the products in my collection. And that's, I mean, nothing new, but it really kind of bothers me because so many of my products were bought at about the same time and I should be using them as much as I can. So it's just made me think maybe I should rejig the idea of how I project pan. Most people go into project pans either looking to hit pan in a product or to finish the product completely. I'm gonna start seeing if I can just make a ton of progress on certain products at once, and then I can take a break from them, come back to them at a later period, and maybe then finish them. I've got a new project that I've made for myself coming next week, so I'll talk a little bit more about how this will impact on that project. But for now, with these products, some of them I'm hoping to finish, but others I'm just hoping to maybe hit pan or at least just use them a lot more than I have been before. So let me know what you think of that and whether that's kind of a project worth watching if I'm not going to be finishing as many products, or just if you have any thoughts in general, please let me know. So after that really long introduction, I will jump into the products. My first product is the MAC Fix Plus. This is from the Purple Prime range. A lot of people know about this product. It's a really good setting spray for your face and your makeup. It's also really good for wetting brushes to apply products wet. I bought this recently and I've only used it once, I think, so it's right here up at the top, and what I'd like to do is use as much of this as possible. I know that sounds a little bit weird considering I just bought it, but I'm getting a little bit sick of buying products and then having them sit around for ages and ages and ages and ages and then using them all at once. I'd like to get as much progress in this as possible before Christmas Eve, just because I bought it and I spent the money on it, and if I'm not going to use it, then I don't need to buy another one, so I just want to get as much use as possible on this. Also, I'm not going to be marking the progress on this because I would like to back to MAC it, and I have heard talk that MAC doesn't like it when you put marks on the side of the packaging for whatever reason. So just to completely avoid that confrontation, I'm not going to mark this packaging, but it is right here at the top, and I've used it maybe twice. I think just once though. The next item in my project is an incredibly old item. This was, I think, one of my very first perfumes, and I know I repurchased it, so this will be the second bottle of it. This is the JLo Love at First Glow perfume. So you can see really nice packaging. Definitely appealed to me when I was younger. It's got this little cell phone charm taped to it that I never took off because I didn't have a cell phone. But anyway, I've been holding on to this just for sentimental reasons, but recently I sprayed it again and it still smells fine, so I've marked it down here, and I'm pretty sure I can finish this up. I'm just using this as kind of a body spray before I go to bed, or if I'm just hanging out around my house, and hopefully I'll use it up that way. Next, I have kind of a gimme product, but I didn't know it was a Gimme product until I'd already decided to use it in this project. This is the Lucas's Pawpaw ointment. This is just a regular Pawpaw ointment that you can kind of use like the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream. It's just kind of an all-purpose cream ointment product, and I've had it sitting in my collection for a really long time because I've got a lot of lip balms and I mostly use this as a lip balm, but I've worked it until it's probably about there. And what I've been doing is using this on my elbows just because they've been really dry recently, and I'm using up another lip balm in a different project. So I probably will finish this by the next update, that's why I haven't marked it, but a bit of a Gimme product, but oh well. Next I have a makeup product that is absolutely one of my favorites. This is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. I have it in the color Light 2 Mont Blanc. I've worked it down to about there, so a little bit more than halfway. I absolutely love this foundation. I'd say it was my holy grail all-time favorite foundation. But I've had it sitting around for a little while and I've bought some foundations recently that I'd like to try. So I'm just going to try and use this one up so that I can use the other foundations in my collection. And I will definitely repurchase this, but probably after I've worked through some that I'm trying out. Apologies for the dramatic change in lighting. I was filming and then my camera battery died, so I had to wait for that to charge because I only have one camera battery for some reason. But I'll just go back to the products I was talking about. The next item in my project is going to be two products that I'm counting together as one. The first is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. This is an alright mascara, but it's definitely not my favorite. It's got a curved wand with some little wingy bits on the bottom. Really similar, if not exactly the same, to the L'Oreal Butterfly Wings mascara. I think I opened this in either July or August, so by the time December rolls around, this will have been open for 3 months anyway, and I'd like to get rid of it. And in conjunction with that, I have the by Terry mascara, Terrybly Growth Booster Mascara. This is a little sample. I haven't opened this yet because I didn't want it to dry out, but when I finish up that Maybelline mascara, I'll be opening this one. And because it is a miniature and that mascara has already been quite used, I think it won't be a problem to use these up by the end of December, by Christmas Eve. And even if I don't finish all the product, I will have had them opened for long enough to get rid of them anyway. The next two products that I've got here are eyebrow products. The first one is the By Terry Eyebrow Liner in the color Blonde. This is just a felt tip liner for your eyebrows. I've been using this quite a bit recently and it's okay, but I imagine it will dry out over time, obviously, but before the end of December. So I'm just going to use this continuously until that happens. There's no way of measuring it because it's just like a liquid liner. There's like no way of telling how much product is in here until it just stops working. In conjunction with that, I've been using the Benefit Gimme Brow in the color Medium Deep. Everyone has seen this because it went crazy when it was first released. This is just that little tiny wand for, I don't know, combing in your brows, and there's little fibers in it that are supposed to plump up your brows. My brows don't need any plumping, so I just use this to set basically, and hopefully I will have this finished up by the end of December. I'm not a huge fan of it, I'm going to be honest, and I'd like to move it out. Next, I have two eyeliners. I've got a lot of doubles in this project for some reason. The first is the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in Blackest Black. I've had this for many years, so it's pretty dried out, even though I've used probably about half of it, maybe a little less than half of it. I just want to use this until it's completely unusable basically, and then I'll get rid of it. It's been a great liner for me, but obviously you can't use it once it's dried out. And the next one is from MAC. This is the Fluidline in Phlox Garden. It was limited edition when I bought it, but I don't know if it is still limited edition. As you can see, it's an orchid purple. And recently I've noticed it has started to pull away from the sides and dry out. It's still incredibly creamy, but as you can see, there is a buttload of product still in this little jar. So what I like to do is either use this to line my eyes or use it as a base underneath the next product that I'm going to show you. So basically, I just want to get a lot of use out of this. I paid a lot of money for it and I just want to use it. I like using purple eyeshadow, so this shouldn't be a problem to use up. I basically just want to get some use out of it. And the last product I have in this project is from Revlon. This is the Revlon Photoready Primer and Shadow Quintet, I guess. It's a little eyeshadow quintet in Watercolors. So that's what this looks like upside down. That's what it looks like straight up. So you've got 3 shades there that are supposed to I don't know, but your eyeshadows. This is supposed to be a primer, though it's basically just a really finely milled powder with an iridescent sheen to it, and that's a little glitter. Now this might be a little bit absurd to try and use up just between now and Christmas, but if you read the back, it's only got 2.8 grams of powder in it, which is maybe like 2.5 full-size shadows, maybe a bit less than that. So I'm pretty sure I can use this up because this is also a really powdery eyeshadow palette. It is from the drugstore. It's not terribly well made, so I just want to try and use this up while I'm trying to use up Phlox Garden as well. I think these shadows look much nicer when layered over the top of Phlox Garden because it gives it a purple base to shine on top of. But like I said in my introduction, I am trying to just make as much progress as I can on these products without necessarily trying to finish them. I'm just going to shift my goals a little bit just so that becomes a bit more realistic for my collection in my life. But otherwise, those are the products I'm going to try and use a lot of between now and Christmas Eve. If you would like to join in the Finish 10 by Christmas Eve, please feel free to do so. I know a lot of people started a few weeks ago, so I'm a bit behind here. I've got a little bit less time than everyone else, but oh well, that's life. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.